You guys just you keep coming around. I just keep hearing about you guys.
And I might need to tell Ryan to cut that up a little bit and just put it in my audio for my phone.
First of all, I love the game. I had a passion to play the game, not only football, but I love the game of golf. And what it lends to a person and the friendships you develop on the golf course.
It's been a pleasure being on the drop. I wish you guys all the best down the road.
As someone like you have that golf itch like a lot of us do.
I keep track of you, and you are moving. You are on the move.
So listen, I'm a big New Jersey golf guy. You're very kind, Mike, and you too, Ryan. It's a pleasure to be on just a couple of Jersey boys here talking about something we love. All the best. I really enjoyed it.
This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, Drop Pod people? Welcome back to episode 133. You got Mike and I here. Let's run quickly through our weekly schedule because Mike, we're kind of back. You know, we've been away from each other, even though we are always away from each other while doing this. We're kind of at least back in the same state now. We're in same general area. So we're going to kind of recap that, but let's go through the week here. Yesterday was Easter Monday, the 20th, 21st. Happy Easter to all those out there, and
hopefully the Easter bunny showed up.
Yeah, hopefully the bunny got you some good candy. I'll tell you, here's a hot take, Mike. Way off topic here, coming out of right field. The Reese's eggs better than regular Reese's. Don't know why, but they do a much better job when they give you their Reese's eggs as opposed to the Reese's trees or even just regular Reese's candies, the peanut butter cups.
Hot take. This may go down as one of our best episodes ever because I 100% agree with that hot
There
take.
we go. I'll tell you, I don't know what they do. I don't know if they change the ratio. I don't know what it is, but I could eat the Reese's eggs like Tic Tacs. And I mean, I could also eat regular Reese's cups like Tic Tacs too, but I'll tell you, there's something better about the eggs, man. Something better about the eggs. So, so yesterday, the 21st, Mike, you were down in Florida for spring break. You played Abacoa Golf Club, little public track we're going to get into, but we have a Mike verse. Episode 3 for this year came out yesterday. If you didn't, head over to Instagram, head over to YouTube. It's that's where everything lives. Go check it out. Today, Tuesday, episode 133. Mike, wave to the camera. We're on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and like the videos. If you're listening to us, give us a 5-star rating. We appreciate all that you do there. Tomorrow, episode 3 of this season, I take on Tidewater. If you remember from last week, I was down in Myrtle Beach. Got to play Tidewater, and going to talk about that experience in a little bit. But took on the first hole. It was my 10th hole of the day. I started on hole 10, so I thought, why not? You know, Mike. We've talked about this again, kind of behind the scenes. I'm never jumping out there and recording the first hole. It's just I don't know if I'm not brave enough or if I'm not. Just want to make sure I get away from some people so I don't look like I'm holding people up. But this was an opportunity to record the first hole somewhere, so I took advantage of it. So it's a par 5, and you're going to have to wait and see tomorrow to see what happens. Our guest this week on Thursday is Alex Champagne, who is the head golf professional at Metuchen Golf Club, Golf and Country Club. We had Alex on. He's got quite a good story, Mike, kind of how he talks. He's older than his years would seem. And I just feel like we've said that before about people. But I do feel like he's very young, or at least he looks very young, but he's wiser than his years are. And kind of how he got into the golf industry and his whole kind of process for how he got the job. He's a recent pro. He got it back in what, February, Mike? January, February, March, something like that, very recently. So really cool to have him on and kind of see what that process is like. And unfortunately, I've never been up there, but you were able to chat with him about the course a little bit. So that is Thursday's interview. And then Friday, we got 2 things coming out to you. Again, I was at Tidewater. I recorded a video 5-on-5. right? I did a 1 club challenge, happened to be the 5 iron. So it was the 5 iron on the 5th hole. And I play it with 1 club. I drive with it, I chip with it, I putt with it. I lay up with it. I hit stingers with it. I hit, an array of shots there. You're going to have to watch, but that'll come out Friday. And we also have some new content coming out Friday as well. Mike, I had my first acting gig over the week, over spring break week.
I saw it. I saw the little thing in the little file in the drive, and I said I didn't know what this was. I took a peek, and I said, "Holy hell! How'd you get some of this video footage?" So it's interesting.
So yeah,
well done.
Thank you. So Tide, real quick, debut of we're calling it a, quote unquote commercial. But Tidewater did a renovation over the winter of their greenside bunkers. Every greenside bunker on property got flat bottomed. They got new sand. They got new drainage. They got whole new, the whole things, all of them got done. And what they wanted to kind of showcase it. And as we've said, one of the things that Tidewater is so good to us, and being able to get out there and record and tee times and reservation, all that kind of stuff. And just the people are top notch there, that when they asked if that's something we could do, I was like, let's brainstorm this, but this is kind of what we came up with. So that's coming out on Friday as well. So we'll put that out there on the Instagram and kind of showcase the beautiful bunkers that they have now, the greenside bunkers that they have. But that's kind of our weekly preview review there for this week, Mike.
Today's episode is brought to you by All County Exteriors, your go-to for roofing, siding, windows, doors, and all things exterior home remodeling. As a third-generation family-owned company with over 40 years of experience, All County has earned the reputation for top-quality craftsmanship and service, far outlasting the industry standard. Whether it's a small repair or a full home upgrade, they serve both homeowners and builders across New Jersey. They're deeply rooted in the community, proudly supporting Make-A-Wish, St. Jude's, Roofs for Troops, and parents of autistic children. Thinking about a project? Now's the time. Get an instant 20% off for a limited time. Call 732-370-2780 or email them info@allcountyonline.com to schedule your free, no obligation consultation. That's 732-370-2780. All County Exteriors, quality you can trust. Here we go. Let me fire these fast facts at you. Let's start up there at the PGA Tour. We are recording. It's a signature event right there in Hilton Head. Max is hovering right around T20, heading into that final round. Obviously, if things went unbelievably catastrophic, you wouldn't hear much about from us. But if it just took off like a rocket ship and he did something absolutely insane, you probably heard from us. But right now, it's a no-cut event. He's hovering right there, top 20. Hopefully he can improve upon that. And then Chris and John did make the cut in the opposite field event. Again, they're hovering around 40 heading into that final round. So we're recording a little bit before that goes off.
We should, we're recording on Saturday night, and we don't usually, if Easter holiday, it was not right to our families so we recorded a little early this week.
Yeah. And then as we preview this week on the PGA Tour, it's back to the Zurich Classic, and the Masters champion is back with your boy Shane Lowry to defend their title. And all three New Jersey guys are in the field. This is the only event on tour that you have a partner with. Unfortunately, our New Jersey guys, none of them are partners. So Max is in the field with his guy. John Pack is in the field with his guy. And Chris Goddard's in the field with his guy. So we got three different ways to maybe look at this to see if a team can get a win. And listen, if they win, it's like an individual win on a regular event. They get all those accolades and rewards, more or less, if they do win this week. So fingers crossed there at the Zurich in Louisiana.
That would be huge, because I like I like the Zurich. I'm not saying that we should have a lot of partner events, but golf for the majority of the weeks of a season, right? What do we say it was? 42 weeks in a season. To have one event that's a team event it feels like they're missing on having some more of these kinds of events. I know that you don't want to have too many of them because then it takes away from the specialness of what the Ryder Cup and President Cup have become, but it feels like they need more of these events. It really does. I love the Zurich. I think it's a great, you get to see some different camaraderie. You get to see a little bit more of the like thought process that they have to go through. Even thinking like, oh, I play like Mike, you and I would have a tough time in this event, not only because we're not professional golfers, but because you play a Pro V and I play AVX, and like so they gotta partner themselves up with someone who has a likeness in the ball, who's got kind of opposite skill sets of theirs in order so that they can succeed. So even that whole process I find very interesting. So yeah, good luck to our Jersey guys, and I'm still high from Rory winning the Masters, and him teaming up with Shane Lowry is it's just good old fashioned fun.
Yep. So just to give you a little heads up, they do play alternate shot and 4-ball. It's kind of a rotating basis, so it'll be an interesting thing. And nobody likes to disappoint their partner in an alternate shot type thing. So again, to your point, best of luck to our boys there. Now, as we head down to the Corn Ferry Tour, unfortunately, our guy James Nicholas did miss the cut. He had a rough back nine in the second round where he made a triple and a double and just derailed him. And he was really playing good golf up to that point. But on a positive, our guy, Ryan McCormick, he was one back going into the final round today. No tape on his mouth. He did put out a comment yet on Friday night saying that it was more for a sleep reasoning, as that's a new trend that's going on. I'm not sure if you've seen it, where they tape the mouths to help them sleep a little better at night. For him, it trickled into the golf course. He went no tape this week on the mouth, and he finished T8.
Maybe it's a hard reset. Hopefully. I will
T8.
say, he did say, it wasn't Scotch tape like some people were thinking. I wanted to DM him, say, is that directed at me? You calling me out? Because it did look like Scotch tape, and maybe other people thought it too. But yeah, he did say it was like for a sleep aid to help him sleep or help put him to sleep, stay asleep, whatever he's using it for. But yeah, guy played some golf this week for sure, and hopefully we keep this rolling. Hopefully this is the first kind of roll of the snowball, and we just avalanche forward now. And
listen, congrats to Neil Shipley on a win in the 5th playoff hole. Listen, it's funny. I said to you this in pre-show. Neil Shipley and I, last Sunday, whatever that was, the 13th, him and I were chatting through DMs. And he literally says to me in a DM, I'll come on the show in 3 weeks. I got a busy stretch coming up, but hit me up in May. Well, listen, good things happen when you talk to the Drop Podcast is you find ways to win. I mean, The guy just won. He's going to come on the show. Just throwing that out there to everybody else in the universe that's looking to maybe get a win. We're your one-stop shop with that.
Stay tuned. Yeah. The putt that he missed, I don't know if you saw the highlights, Mike, but I did scrolling through Instagram. I saw it. He missed a putt in the 4th playoff hole. Not an easy putt. It looked like it might have been 20 or 30 feet. It hits. He would have won it if it went in. He hits the lip and it rolls out. And, there's like 7 guys or however many it were. Like all of them had par, but there was like a whole bunch of them. He won in the 5th hole by, I think, birdieing again, but everybody else took par. He should have he had a birdie chance there or whatever it was. Everybody makes par, moves on. I think there was like 5 or 6 guys in that playoff that were going there for a while. 2, it was just Neil and him. Look at the balloons there. Those on the YouTube there got a little.
It was
show
just Neil and a character.
Did it start with another guy? Did it start with
2
more?
guys? Just 2 guys. It was Neil Shipley and something Lee. Suntak Lee.
I thought I saw. I wonder what. I'll have to go back and try to find. I thought it said. Oh, maybe it was talking about maybe I'm getting confused with the whole number 4. Thinking I thought they said 4 guys, but anyway, good for Neil. Awesome to have him on again. I talked about him when we had we talked about
Full swing.
Full Swing. Yeah, his episode. He just seems like such a cool guy, and seeing like these college guys, just he's got his Xbox on top of a 30 pack. Just you gotta love the college life. So good for him, and that's going to be a huge push in the right direction. Dean needs 2 more to get an automatic tour card. So that's a huge deal as well. So good luck to Neil. He can play some golf with how he played last year at the Masters. So
Understatement. And then obviously, as we look ahead to the Corn Ferry Tour, they're going back to the normal Thursday to Sunday tournament. All our guys, James and Ryan, are both in the field. And I guess at this point, maybe we'll just kind of put as an alternate on our guys list, Neil Shipley as well. He's in the field. So best of luck to them this week. Let's see if Neil can go 2 for 2. I mean, I'll say this. If Neil wins this week, I'm just throwing this out to the universe. We are those guys.
DMs should be packed. DMs should be packed then. That's what
you want to win?
Is.
Let us know.
You want to be a bride and not a bridesmaid? Jump on our podcast.
Yeah. And then the last thing I do have here in the Fast Facts is a late addition. I don't know if you saw me slip this little comment in there, but we got to talk about the Break 50. We got to talk about the Break 50 because I will say this. I got to give credit to where credit's due. Our social media guy, Shaq, absolutely killed this video. I mean, when I watched it, I had to start laughing hysterically because I didn't realize you cursed as much as you did.
Mike, I said the same thing. I said the same thing watching it. I go, man, I curse like a sailor, apparently.
I love the fact that every time you said it, he beeped it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the whole thing was so well done. Congrats if a spoiler alert here. Congrats. You did break 50 easily, even with bookend double bogeys. You beat it by 4 easily. You killed it.
I wouldn't say 4 is easy, but it wasn't coming down margin. 9. Coming down 9, I felt pretty good about it.
Yeah, and I just loved watching that whole thing. I thought John the caddy was comical. I believe his name was John, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, he was a comic, out there.
He was a perfect guy for us there. He was the guy. Yeah. He's the caddy that's got the quick wit, and he's got all the sayings, and knows the course, doesn't take it too seriously. He's just out walking the park and just happens to have some knowledge about different features of the park. Really, it was really pretty cool. He was perfect for it.
And the thumbnail was so good to me. I love the breaking of the sign with a number with you looking like you're bundled up for the middle of the winter. Listen, I thought that video was really, really well done. I thought, again, your acting is very good at this point. So we could work on the language a little bit, but I think that ultimately you care. You care. And I will say this, if you don't know what I'm talking about or you haven't seen it, it is a short, long form 15-minute video of where we go shot by shot. We get some interactions with Ryan and the caddy. We get some takes by Ryan as he's walking down the fairway of him playing the front 9 at a top 5 golf course from Golf Digest at Plainfield Country Club. So you get not only good golf course, you got some good golf at times, and you get some great comedy.
I think that's what I bring to this podcast, Mike, is the comedy, because it definitely ain't the golf. That's your job. And it was a lot of fun doing it. I honestly, we've been doing this now for a little bit, and we record ourselves and we're out there, and I'm not nervous hitting shots with you standing behind me and recording me like I was originally, right? You get used to it. With having our guy Shaq out there, it was nerve-wracking to do because everything was filmed, constantly mic'd up. I think when we do something like that in the future, there'll be more interaction, like more of the talk between the camera and I think I liked that part of the video and didn't think there was enough of it. and not because he left some on the cutting floor, not anything like that. Just I just didn't do it enough, right? I curse and then I walk away angrily usually. So it really was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing something similar to that again. It was really pretty cool, and like you said, our guy did a bang up job with it. Really, really great.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
that's the story that he used to promote it was so good. Listen, nothing beats your drive on the fifth hole. And I say this and not as a self-promoting way. And I know we talk about, we're appreciative of everybody watching all our stuff, but just for shits and giggles, you got to go watch Ryan's fifth hole. The way you respond after that drive is like, I thought you were ready.
I was
I'll
an
stop
angry
there.
elf. I was an
Go
angry
watch
elf.
it.
Yeah.
Go watch the video. Go watch the video. Send me a DM and tell me you don't agree with me.
I will say, Mike, and I think we kind of touched on this last week, and I want to kind of touch on it again for those that are not going to listen and still DM us the response to what I'm going to say. We decided to do a breaking 50 because A, I'm not a terribly great golfer. B, first round of the season. C, you saw how bundled up I was. It was super cold at a really hard course that was going to play really, really long. So I'm sure some people are going to be handicap police and be like, dude, you're a single digit. You should break 50 every time. And you're right. I should be able to break 50 every time. But with it being a championship caliber course, we decided to instead of do like a breaking 45, we did a breaking 50. And that's kind of where we decided there. And kind of what it was. So I just wanted to kind of give you a reasoning as to why we decided a 50 there to start the season. Just trying to get out in front of comments there, Mike. That's all. Trying to make your life easier.
Yeah, all good. Where else can you play 27 holes of golf, practice at a lit, heated driving range, enjoy a sports bar year-round, and now tee it up on one of the only municipally owned golf simulators in the country? Galloping Hill Golf Course has it all. Play 9, play 18, hit the range, or better yet, escape the bad weather with the swing suite. Grab pub favorites and seasonal beers at the concession stand, or check out the Hill Tavern for a brand new 2025 menu and a full lineup of local beers. Planning an event? Their award-winning banquet team hosts over 150 golf outings and over 400 social events each year. Schedule a tour today at the clubhouse at gallopinghill.com and don't miss the action. Galloping Hill will host the New Jersey Men's Public Links Championship for a record 12th time, plus a PGA Tour Q School event later this year. It's all happening at Galloping Hill Golf Course.
All right, Mike. I do also want to circle back to something we talked about last week in kind of the Plainfield realm. We had talked about liking Plainfield a lot more the second time that we played it, most recently, than we did the first time, which we were fortunate enough to play it last year. And not that we hated it the first time or anything like that, but it's anytime you get a second look at a course, you get a better understanding of what the architect's trying to do. You get a better feeling for everything that's going on around the golf course. So to me, I had said, let's talk about this next week. Let's circle back. You had asked me where I put it. I said, still probably in the 6 through 10. And after like this week, thinking about it and looking at what I had last week, it's still in that 6 through 10. I think that's still fair for where it was. I did like it better this second time, but come the end of the season, once we play some more courses and once we, kind of have some more things to compare it with, so to speak, I we'll revisit it in the fall, early winter, like we always do. But that's kind of where I just wanted to kind of touch base, because I did say we were going to talk about it this week, and I don't think much talking is needed, but I did just I don't want to be a liar, so I wanted to come back and touch upon it.
Yeah. The comments on TikTok and the comments on Instagram were fire. Okay. And I think a lot of that is you know, for us, it's engaging. Like, we don't mind that. I don't mind it. It's kind of funny when I start, then I can re-explain things to everybody, because when you listen to a 60-second clip of something that we cut up compared to the whole segment of us talking about it,
Yeah.
the context is different. But I also know the business that we're in. It's kind of, hey, listen, let's get those people talking, because listen, I'll say this, and I know you don't read the comments as much as I do. The one course that people harped on a ton was the Ridge at Backbrook being a top 5 private golf course in New Jersey.
People think it is. Mike, it's been years, maybe a decade since I've played there. You've played there more recently than I have, being in the state open you were in a couple years ago. So I would love to go back and play it and try to validate that, but that's something that I don't know if I could justify that.
Somewhere,
I know.
it's somewhere on the to-do list.
I'm aware. Yeah, I'm aware. I just I make mention. I know it gets done at some point in the back end. That's all I got to do. Mike, let's get into our spring breaks, because we did just come back. Both of us were on vacation, and fortunate to get away. You know, our families were nice enough to let us get away for a little bit, and let's talk. And I don't know where you want to start here. You want to take care of yours first? You only got one. I got the 2 courses to talk about.
I think we start with you, and I think we
Okay.
kind of preface it this way, because again, going on a golf trip in the summer, me, my dad, my brother, we're going to go venture to your neck of the woods in Myrtle Beach. And the courses that you played and have played are the courses that we will play. So I think it's important for me to continue to learn about where not to hit it,
Okay.
so that I can mentally prepare where I should hit it. And obviously, I hear about all the things that you say about the people at this spot, and I know that matters to us, is people and the interactions and the conversations and how just nice and cordial everybody is. Tell me about your 2 spots, the updating. I know you've gotten to play them multiple times. Have they gotten better? Have they gotten worse? Have they stayed the same? Give me some info here on your break.
So I've been saying for a while that Caledonia is on my Mount Rushmore of public golf courses I've played outside of New Jersey. That it would be Bethpage, Torrey Pines, Cog Hill, and Caledonia, kind of covering the country there. And it did not disappoint. It is absolutely stunningly beautiful there at Caledonia. But I actually want to do this in order. I played Tidewater first, and I want to start with Tidewater, then I'll go to Caledonia. The people at Tidewater, Mike, are the most genuine, salt of the earth, wonderful people that there are. Between the person who's checking you in, getting the bags out of the car for you, cleaning the clubs when you come in, the person working in the snack bar, asking if you want a hot dog, to the people in the pro shop, to the social media people who we've interacted with, to the general manager who I got to meet this time around. Everybody there is better than the next person. I can't tell you how genuinely nice these people are, Mike. And that whole Southern charm or Southern hospitality, it's firmly implanted in really both these places. But the people at Tidewater have been so good to me, more specifically because I've been down there a few times, and it is quite close to where I stay. So it is nice to kind of have that as a little playground, so to speak. So when they said, "Hey, we want to showcase the new bunkers," what do you want to do? I'm certainly happy to help because they've been so helpful to us. The course is in great shape. It is really impeccable. The greens are rolling. Like, I hope the greens are rolling the same as when you're there. They were so true. It was wild. The greens are really tough there as well. There's a lot of times where I thought I hit a good putt and it was online and then just picked up speed as it went past the hole. So they could put some pins in some really tough places. when the wind's howling, it is really, really difficult. And on top of that, it's a pretty difficult golf course to begin with, especially if you're going to play from the black or the blue tees. It's fairly long. I think it tops out. The blacks are 7,100 and the blues are 6,800. So it can be really long. And if you're into the wind on some of those holes, especially on the water there, it really picks up. Man, you can be in for a real day. Like on hole. Now I started on hole 10. So when we made the turn and played hole 4 is, I believe, it's the hardest hole on the property, and it is the number 1 handicapped hole. Plays 430 from the back tees, right along the water there on the swamp, not the swamp, the marsh there. You can see kind of the ocean is in the distance. But I'll tell you, if the wind is ripping like it was, you're in big, big trouble. Because I'll tell you, Mike, you would have hit a drive off hole 1, and even you would have sliced it because your draw it would have been taken away from the wind. It would have started and the wind would have moved it back. So, I mean, I lost 2 balls out of bounds, hit great shots, and the wind just took it and slapped like Dikembe Mutombo blocked it. It was crazy to watch it. It was really wild to see. But a big long hole. You got out of bounds on the left there. The wind was coming out of bounds on the right with people's backyards as well. It's a hole 4 is a bear of a hole, especially if that wind was ripping like it was for us. So I could go through every hole, Mike. The Ryans versus hole 1 this week. Beautiful starting hole, relatively open off the tee. You can kind of hit a shot out there. You don't. It looks like you have a little bit of a chute to go through because kind of right in front of you there's some bushes, but really it opens up past that. And then you got a big green that's got a lot of tight lies around it. The bunkers, like I said, are redone. It's really an excellent starting hole. Get you kind of in the mood for the start of your round. It's not a terribly difficult hole as far as the holes on the course go. It's the 13th handicapped hole, but it's a good starting hole. It gives you enough of a challenge to be like, okay, I got to play some good golf today, but it's easy enough where like I can kind of ease into my round coming off the driving range. And Mike, it's kind of another plug I want to give here real quick. Grass driving range, the putting green is enormous. I think there must have been like 8 flags in the putting green, 10 flags. So a really big putting green. And how many places we talk about, like a grass driving range is huge. You see how the ball interacts with it. I can't tell you how much I love Tidewater, the people there, the course, the views, the challenges, the aesthetics, the drives you get in between the houses, the whole thing. Tidewater is just an excellent, excellent place. If you are in the Grand Strand area, it's in the North Myrtle Beach, pretty close to North Carolina there, a little north of Myrtle Beach. If it's in North Myrtle Beach, it is an excellent, excellent golf course, and I can't recommend it enough to people to go down there and play it.
Well, listen, it's one of those spots that's starred on my list because of everything you've said about it in the past and today.
Continue to echo. Yeah, I can't say, Mike. Yeah. I don't know how often I can say enough good things about it because it's really such a great place.
Yeah, can't wait. Now tell me a little bit about the other one.
So I do want to. I'll tell you about the other one, and then I actually want to know what you're looking forward to most about those. So while I'm going through, you think about that. Caledonia is as I've been saying. Was fortunate enough to play it a few years ago. It is a championship golf course. It is really tough. We talked to. I played it from the tips. The tips at Caledonia are not long. The whole course itself, it plays only. It's a par 70, so 35-35. It only plays 6,600 yards, 6,600 yards
from the back.
From the back. Yeah, it's wow. It's not very long, but I'll tell you, there are a lot of shots there where you can use driver on most holes, and if you hit a good drive, you're going to be in the fairway with a wedge in, and you can try to overpower the course. But honestly, not really suggested, because there's a lot of, if you're not hitting the driver well, you're going to put yourself into some precarious spots that you don't want to be in, with some angles you don't want, or even just you don't want to challenge certain things that you don't need to. There's a long par 5. The green is over water, so you got a bunker system that you got to drive it over, and if you drive it over, you're going to have 220 in, right? But if you don't get it over, you have a very tough layup. You get to get out of the bunker, which has a big face on it, and then you're still going to have a long shot. So if you don't, or you're not hitting the drive well, don't hit 3-wood. Stay short of the bunkers, and then lay up and give yourself something smart. Like, it's a course that you're going to have to think your way through more than just bomb and gouge. And the bomb and gouge, while it could work, as we've seen, Bryson won a US Open bomb and gouging. You can certainly do that. You got to have your drives in the right spots there. You really do. And even then, you got to be putting well. The greens are treacherous. Another course where again, I had a number of shots, and you'll see tomorrow, where ball picks up speed as it goes past the hole in a lot of places if you're not in the right spot. So it's awesome. I don't know if there's a better playing experience for just an average Joe Show amateur than playing hole 18 there, because you got a narrow fairway to a green that's over on the other side of the water. So you got to go over the water, and you have people who have been there maybe since 8:00 in the morning drinking and yelling at you as you're overlooking the green, and they're taking bets. And I'll tell you, they're not quiet about the bets they're taking. They are in your close enough where I'm over the ball, and I can hear the guys going, "Oh, $2 on a 3-putt, right, $5 on a 2." But you could hear them saying this, because
You should be stopping mid-putt and say, "I'll take that.
I'll
take that one."
I didn't get it on camera, but I did say, who's got money on 3-putt? I'll split it with you. And so yeah, it's a really cool experience, something very unique. There's a lot of other spots, I will say. I mentioned True Blue, and and I played it last year. I've gotten to play some others that have a little bit of an overhang where you can kind of do that on 18. Nothing like this. These guys were rowdy. They were there to. It's like a rite of passage playing hole 18 there and getting mocked. And I certainly, well, you'll see tomorrow what happened. So that was a great finishing hole. It's certainly a cool experience. And I'll tell you, Mike, we talk about like aesthetics. I love Spanish moss. Don't know what it is about it, but just the look of it hanging from the trees, it just looks like, to me, that and palm trees just signal happiness. I don't really know why. The Spanish moss kind of makes me think of like it's kind of droopy, it's sleepy, it's laid back, it's like it's just chilling. And palm trees symbolize like a cocktail on the beach. So like I see those two things, and I love it. And they have more Spanish moss there, I think, per capita than anywhere else in the world. And I think that's just science, because the driveway as you're walking in or driving in, as you're walking from the pro shop to the first tee practice area, which I will say is quirky about the course. It's a little, the 9th hole, the practice area, there's a lot going on in this small area that you kind of got to go through to then get to the first hole. But it's not quirky and like, hey, you're gonna hate it. No, it's just kind of like you're coming up and there's a lot of stuff going on. You got guys practicing here. You got a practice putting green here. Guys are playing 9 here, which depending on what tee you play or where they put the tees, hole 9 on the scorecard from the tips is 118. So if it's up, or if you play a different tee box, it could be only a 80-yard, 90-yard shot, depending on where you are. So, or where they put the flag. So you got a lot going on right there. you hear about the soup that they're giving you at the turn. The soup station's right there. The halfway house and the snack shack is right. There's a lot going on in this very small area that you kind of are like, oh, let me take this all in. But to the point of the Spanish moss, it's all dangling there. It's all just so beautiful. And getting to play it, going down 18 as the sun was setting, it was just phenomenal. It really was such a great experience there. And honestly, it still holds as on my Mount Rushmore of top public courses outside New Jersey that I've played. So
High
I don't know if
standards.
there's something specific you want there, Mike, but I'll
No,
tell you,
it's all
I
good.
can't. I don't have enough good things to say about the people that are at both these places and the courses, and it's just we're very fortunate to be able to play there. It is worth every dollar that you have to spend there. I know that's one of the knocks on it is at peak season. I think Caledonia is like $200, but it is a real treat to go play it. It's a special place. And man, I'll tell you, just absolutely wonderful.
Tired of your sock drawer looking like a 1950s rerun? It's time to upgrade with Leverett US, the only sock you'll ever need. Whether you're grinding through 18 holes, hitting the pickleball court, or just on your feet all day, Leverett Socks brings unmatched comfort, performance, and style. Made with 97% nylon and 3% spandex, they're loaded with features, moisture wicking technology, odor resistant fabric, durable construction, and a blister proof design. Plus, they exfoliate as you walk, no joke. What really sets them apart? Color options, tons of them, holiday drops, seasonal looks, event based designs, always fresh, always bold. And for pros, merchandisers, and business owners, Leverett offers fully custom socks. Your logo, your colors, your message. Heel to toe, even on the packaging. Perfect for pro shops, giveaways, or even boosting your brand. So step it up. Visit leverett.us or follow at LeverettUS on Instagram. And remember, your outfit's not complete without Leverett on your feet. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think one of the things that kind of drew me into like where were my dad and my brother and I, where were we going to venture to go? We looked at Hilton Head, I can't lie. We looked at going all the way down there. But then when what you say about Myrtle Beach and all the nice things and all the golf that's been there, I've never been there. So selfishly, I said, listen, let's tap into some of these relationships that you've made and that I've been able to kind of pick at. And let's go explore and navigate. And obviously, I look at the pictures of Tidewater, those par threes, I think it is with the bulk and the intercoastal right there,
Yeah.
like looks unreal. And then you go over to Caledonia and you see that 18th hole with the water in front. Those are things from a guy like me that I'm looking for the aesthetics. I'm looking for those things that I
The
can
optics.
sit there.
You're a big optics guy.
Yeah, that just mentally just ingrains in my mind. I get it. You're looking at the cream of the crop photos. I understand that. So you're not going to sell me like, oh, it's Evan Schiller's picture. It's really good. I know. But to be able then to go out there and experience it myself and to look around, like, yeah, I can't wait to get out there to both those spots and kind of, get to see what it's all about.
I'll tell you that the hole 12 is the one you're talking about with the bulkhead at Tidewater is such an intimidating tee shot. And then you get up to the green and you're like, there's green for days up here. It's a really deceptive shot. It's still a difficult shot, but I think that a lot of it is the deception. And then even more so, Mike, I think the coolest part of the course right there is teeing off even further into the marsh on hole 13. I would suggest to anybody, if you're at Tidewater and you're playing the blues, play hole 13 from the black tees. It does add some more yardage, but it's such a cooler tee shot on that par 5. It's really cool. You're kind of teed up in like your own little peninsula out there is really the best way to describe it. It's very, very cool. And it's connected to the green. Like the green kind of runs off to the short area and then kind of runs right into the tee box there. It's very, very cool. I will also say one more thing, Mike. When you go to Caledonia, watch out for the squirrels. They have these fox squirrels there. They look like bandits, right? Some of the squirrels are all black. Some of them are the tan squirrels or the gray squirrels that we have here, and they have like black. It almost looks like they're wearing a bandana, quite frankly. And we got attacked by one. They're not scared of people. They're constantly they're jumping in. Like, we got out of the golf cart, we come back, there's one in the golf cart looking for food. So they're not afraid of people there. They're very used to people being there. And this one, he got up on his hind legs, had his hands here. He was chested up, was pay the toll. Give me some crackers. He literally was walking away and waving the driver at him as he was walking, and I felt like we were going to get attacked. It was wild there. They don't, those squirrels there, they don't care. They give zero. Yeah, it was crazy. So
Good to know.
What are you most looking forward to going out there? Is there something about it? Is it playing that 18th hole with that with the people chirping? Is it the views at Tidewater? Is there something that you're super giddy about? Because again, now I've been fortunate enough to play him a few times and talked about him. Is there something that you've heard that you're specifically looking forward to?
Well, I think they always say that Myrtle Beach is the golf capital of the world, right? Isn't that kind of what they say about that place down
When
there? And I
you
think,
get off the airport, you leave the airport exit, it says "Welcome to Golf Town, USA."
right. So I think being a golf junkie that wants to play golf and that is going to be playing golf from sun up to sundown, because every single day, minus the first one when we get there and the last one we leave, we're playing 36 from the beginning to the end of the day. So I think that's kind of what I'm excited to experience is it all, is get to see all these unbelievable spots that you've harped on, that I've seen different social media people harp on, and just be able to be like, okay, it lived up to all the hype that I've heard. So listen, I think from the beginning to the end, from the courses that I'll play, I'll release that later on as we get closer, but it is a loaded field with kind of the likes of Rory and Tiger. Those are the kind of golf courses that are on this list that we're heading down to play. So as the time gets closer, I'll put that out.
Yeah, maybe that's when my invite will get sent out to me. But let's talk about your spring break trip to Abacoa, Mike. You got to play down in Florida. You went down, play with your dad. Brother go down too? Nope, just dad.
Just the two of us.
You and I. So tell me about Abacoa, because I've heard it's a place I've heard about. Corn Ferry was there just 2 weeks before you were there, 3 weeks before.
So what's actually down there is the minor league professional tour. It's below the Corn Ferry Tour. It's kind of like what guys do to go win some quick cash. It's little money games. It costs to go play, and all these either local pros that are trying to make the Corn Ferry Tour, whether it's head golf professionals in the area or just aspiring guys that are just on conditional status on the Corn Ferry Tour. So I'm down there playing, and it's day 2 of the tournament. It's normally a 36-hole event. Winner takes home $10 grand in cash. So there's entry fees. These guys play. And when I say that every pin was tucked either dead right or dead left, I'm not joking. And I didn't realize that it was the second round of the event until the back 9, when you started to see all the little signs, all the little scoring tents for the minor league professional tour. You see, we follow them on Instagram, and I go to look to see what the guy shot the day prior. From the back tees, you're talking over 7,000 yards. 14 of the 18 holes have water somewhere on them. Fires a smooth 63.
No.
Fires a smooth 63, right? Okay, right? So I'm like, okay, this is insane, right? I know it was the day before, but the tees couldn't have been moved up anything. The pins were, I'm sure, were tucked. And then I see after the first 18 holes, who's on the leaderboard? Dawson Jones. Our guy, Dawson Jones, is on the leaderboard.
Okay.
So before I get talking about the golf course, I finished my round. I kind of slapped it around. I know some people may say slapped. I shot 79, some good, some bad, some ugly, little bit of everything, right? I finished the round, and now I am that weirdo that's walking this, to your point, another grass driving range, and I'm looking at every guy's bag, reading the name, legitimately looking for Dawson Jones.
Yeah.
These guys are making eye contact with me like, who is this weirdo just staring at my golf bag, watching me swing? I went from the beginning of the range to the far side to the putting green, never could find him.
Are they
So I don't
getting
know.
ready to play, or they had
Yeah.
played and you played after?
No. So we had the morning, it was open to the public, and the afternoon, the course was closed for the event.
Okay.
So they let tee times go out between 7 and 9. Okay. And then at 9 o'clock, it shut down. They opened both sides of the tee box so people could fly around. And I went searching. I couldn't find him. I couldn't find him anywhere. But I do know that the winner finished at like minus 13 or minus 14 after 2 rounds.
2 days.
And I was just like, this is insane. Because you and I talk about the levels. Like, oh, this guy's really good. He's really good. These guys, in my opinion, are really good. I'm watching them stripe the golf ball. Even Dawson finished, I think, T7. He was like minus 8 or something on the 2 rounds. And I'm like, they can't kick it on the Corn Ferry Tour.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Which is insane.
It's so crazy. And that whole adage, Mike, they talk about like those like fun arguments where like, could you break par putting at the Masters from the farthest part on the Sunday, all those things. And that one that's like, who are you closer to, a professional golfer or a guy that's going to shoot 100? Well, obviously I shoot near 100, so that's going to be me. But like a scratch golfer is closer to the guy that shoots 100 than he is any kind of professional golfer, because these guys could just go berserk. That's wild that you shoot
insane.
13 or 14 under in 2 days. That's crazy.
And
crazy.
you're not kicking it.
And you're not really a pro. I mean, you're a pro, but you're not like, you don't have some kind of stat. Like you're going to go out and shoot 63, 64 and you can't get on the Corn Ferry Tour? What's going on? That's crazy. That really is
funny. It's crazy because even 2 weeks before, when they had the same event there, a 2-day tournament. Actually, this might have been 18 holes. I can't remember. But James Nicklaus, a former guest of the show, just played down there and he won the thing in a playoff. So these guys go down there, try to make a quick little buck to throw it in their back pocket. But I'll say this about the golf course. One, it's probably one of the best public golf courses that the Jupiter area has. But with that being said, it's also a very, very expensive golf course for a public golf course. Now you're in a upper wealthy area in terms of where you're at in Florida. So they get it and people pay it. So it is on the expensive side. So I wouldn't say to people like, hey, listen, you got to go play. But I'll say this. For us people that follow a lot of these social media guys, there's a lot of guys from like Busted Jack. They go down there. They live down there. They practice there at Abacoa. You see them on the practice driving range, using the grass driving range. Grant Horvat's been over there playing in different events. Like Bob Does Sports and those guys, they've been over there. They house a lot of different influencers in our little bubble, bigger than us.
In that area there.
Yeah. But in that area. So it's a very challenging golf course. God almighty, when you see a lot of water, it gets you a little tighter because you can't spray the golf ball. And it's hard. And when the wind blows out there, forget about it. But it was a good day. It was fun. It's always nice being out there playing with the old man and letting him slap it around. Him and I did tie. I got to give credit where credit's due. I told him I'd bring out the best of him. He did shoot 79. He played the white tees. And then the day I left, I asked him how he played. He shot 91. He asked me if I wanted to come back down and be his golfing partner. So we might have a relocation coming up pretty soon.
Okay. Love that. That's great. Oh man, I'm glad Dad's playing well. It's good to see.
Listen, pending the day. Yes.
Okay.
But he did play well when I was down there. And I said to him, listen, that little added motivation of me being around just fuels the fire a little bit for you. So
well, I'm still looking forward to getting out there and playing with him. He's, I got to meet him last year finally. I'm looking forward to the day where he comes up and stops avoiding me. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, we could get that on the schedule. And the last thing I got here on my little thing is I did go over to play Ballamor. And I know Eric Tokarski's been a guest of the show. Um, I've been kind of getting the itch to get out there and play. Um, I know as this is coming out, Austin and I either did or did not qualify at Little Mill yesterday. So it's kind of like how it's going. But I wanted to get out there and practice a little bit. So I went out to Ballamor, played 10 holes. Now, let me tell you this. My daughter and I played late in the afternoon at 4:00 tee time. $80 with a cart. Hard to beat. Okay. Under $100, course in great shape. I'll say this. If that place is not a top 10 public golf course in New Jersey, I think I'm throwing my hands up. I think I'm throwing my hands up. It's hard. It's beautiful. Some phenomenal holes out there. The 3rd hole, the 18th hole. You got some really fun par 3s. I'll say this. Clearly, we've talked a lot about people and people matter. They have phenomenal people with Eric and Dante over there kind of running the show. But they got a driving range that's impeccable. The putting green is flawless. The golf course is in unbelievable shape for mid-April right now. I'll say this. When we talk about ratings, and I know you just had mentioned this earlier about Plainfield, when we look back and put a public course top 10, if that thing is not on it, we are not doing our job. I'm telling you this from the get-go. When you get on that first tee box and you look out there, it's well manicured. The greens are rolling unbelievably well. The bunkers are in phenomenal shape. You would have thought we were midsummer in terms of how well that golf course has recovered from being aerated in the wintertime because the grass was lush. It was green. I say this not as a anything else, then you got to go experience Ballamor. You got to.
Well, Mike, I'll have you know, a real quick Google search, Golf Digest is the best golf courses you can play in New Jersey, and Ballamor is on that list. Now, the list is not ranked. They're in order, like it has an order, but it doesn't necessarily have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know if it's supposed to be in order or not, but it is on that list. It is on the lower side of that list. So, again, I don't know if it'd be in order. But to your point, Mike, the one time I got to play it last year, I would like to go play it again. Again, same kind of we've kind of said with Plainfield, like second time, get a better, now you've seen it. Let's go experience it a little bit. I think that's a fair testament. I thought it was excellent. Going back to my thoughts of like, again, we know I like Ballyowen, but I would agree with you that it's where it fits in the top 10. I'd have to think about, but I would think easily that's a top 10 golf course in the state.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of and that's kind of why I said top 10 because I do think the top 5 is hard to crack. I do, and I be brutally honest, I don't think it's in the top 5. I don't. I think it's a top 10 public golf course when you're talking experience, when you're talking course conditions, and you're talking price. To me, that's a top 10 in New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, hey, good for them. I'm glad you got out. And Mike, you kind of stole my thunder a little bit there. I did want to end with a best of luck. I know that the results by the time people are listening to this have already come out, but you and Austin are trying to qualify for the 4-ball at Little Mill. That's happening on Monday for you. So just best of luck. Monday being yesterday to those that are listening now, but it's ahead of when we're talking right now. So, dude, best of luck. As I said before to you, I think you're more than just a passenger princess on that. So go hit the ball well and take care of business so we can get up to North Jersey.
Do my best, pal.
By we, I meant the three of us, you, me, and Austin.
I knew what you meant.
All right, bud. So that's all we got here for this week. Kind of a spring break recap on our vacations there, and hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned Thursday for our interview with our guest, the head golf pro at Metuchen Golf and Country Club, Alex Champagne. Till then, cheers.